let's go ahead and count them down to game number 1 here on the other semis for your classic Tetris Monthly Challenger circuit. Here we go in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Alright, so unlike last game, we have different piece sets. And that's going to lead to definitely some differentiation in how they stack. But we're also going to run into situations like this, where Toby is already having to encounter a drought, forced to have to take the first few burns. Meanwhile, Eren was able to knock down 2 Tetrises without burning. Of course, both Eren and Toby are some pretty fast tappers. So we've also seen some insane survival by both of them in the past. And if Toby is able to take this to the finals, then this could be the CCWC 2021 silver matchup that never happened, as Zeno had to beat Superminds in order to advance to the finals and could have played Toby. Right now, Toby forced to set up a little bit of an unwanted eyepiece dependency right there in the center of the stack. And now Eren with a hole right there on row 3. That's going to be a little tedious to deal with. And so Eren's going to be spending the next few lines burning. So if Toby is able to score Tetrises here, that's going to allow Toby to take the lead, and is able to do so right there. Ooh, smart play by Eren, hoping to get a J or an L piece followed up by a J or an I, and that works out. Eren now has opened up the well. Toby has managed to take around a 2 Tetris lead, however, and Eren's still not getting the right pieces to try and score consistently here. Another Tetris for Toby, and finally Tetris for Eren. 159 to now 194. And now both players seem to be pretty comfortable here as Eren knocks down a Tetris. Is going to be trailing by around 40 to 60,000 points depending on when the Tetrises get scored. And oh, nice adjustment right there from Eren, and a double long bar rewards the adjustment. And Toby having to do just a little bit burning here. Not necessarily something that is ideal, but it's not going to hurt until... No, it only is going to cost 1 burn line. Great long bar timing right there for Toby. And Toby continues to push the lead. 311 and now 274. And we are a little bit over that halfway mark. We're looking at a mid 500 over here for Toby, and potentially a low to mid 500 over here for Eren. And Eren not able to get that eyepiece all the way over to the left, so creates a eyepiece dependency. Fortunately, the stack is low enough to where it shouldn't hurt too much. But Toby not in any position to kind of really score right now. Doesn't want to go for the S-sprint, or maybe tried to and just wasn't able to hit it. But as a result, Eren has corrected the long bar dependency and is only 4,000 points away from Toby's current score. And with that, Tetris is going to take the lead. Toby sets up an incredibly clever delay burn and actually decides to go for the triple as opposed to her setting up for the dirty. Eren going to be holding on to around a half Tetris lead, and what an interesting formation right there on the right for Toby. I don't think I've seen that before in a game. But Toby cleans it up masterfully, and with that, Toby is Tetris ready. Both players now waiting on the long bar here. Eren takes a double. Toby forced to have to burn a lot of lines here. Gets the T-piece though, hits the T-spin. Very vital right there. And now it just needs a long bar for the dependency. Gets the long bar, needs a J. Gets the J and the S. Can Toby get rewarded for his efforts? And there it is. Tetris for Toby is going to fall behind by approximately 50,000 points, but is still alive, and that's the most important part. We have around 2 to 3 Tetrises left for both players. Now 2 Tetrises as Eren knocks down one. Toby knocks down another. And Eren looking for an L or a J and accidentally creates this cursed formation in the center. Decides to go J flat to try and resolve it. However, looks like that might not have been the right choice to do, as Toby is up dangerously high. Has to burn, and the long bar comes a piece too late. Eren and Toby both having to dig here on the post transition to level 19. Meanwhile, Toby gets the T-piece over to the left. Incredibly crucial placement right there. Gets another T-piece to the left. Eren and Toby are still having to burn. Nice placements over here by Toby. Eren's almost out of it. In fact, Eren's out of it and knocks down a Tetris. Toby still has a couple of lines left to burn. At least 3 more. There's one. There's another. And with that, Toby is good, ready to score a Tetris. The question is, does the long bar come? And Eren, oh, a little bit of a tricky hang in the center there for the long bar. And Eren needs a long bar in the center, and he needs it now. And it doesn't come in enough time. Eren tops that at 538. Toby is not good, though. He needs 539. Toby needs 539. A Tetris will do it, but he's not quite in a position to score a Tetris. Just have to survive. 539 is the score to reach. 18,000 more points. And Toby is making his way down. Masterful excavation right there. 539 is the score that needs to be reached. Toby is at 534. There's a double, 537 and 544. That's going to be good enough for game number 1. All right, we got a hover 3 from both players, so I assume that means they're ready to go. Let's go ahead and count them down. Here we go in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. And already off to start, Eren having to rely on 2 J pieces, or a J or an I piece, to kind of resolve that. So is going to be taking a couple of burns early on. But Toby, yet again, RNG refusing to give Toby the long bar. So is able to knock down the Tetris, and you gotta love a man who can laugh in the face of some rough RNG. And, you know, sometimes players underestimate the aspect of the mental game. It's easy to get frustrated when you're not given ideal RNG, and that could sometimes leak into your play. But so far, Toby has been handling some rough sequences pretty well. And with that, Toby is going to be clean down at the bottom and is able to score a Tetris, leaving virtually nothing on the board. Another Tetris for Eren. And Eren having to do just a little bit of burning. Toby going to be trailing by approximately 2 Tetrises now, as Eren knocks down a Tetris, but makes a misdrop somewhere among the lost frames. And, ooh, what a clever overhang that was. And the double J pieces, not necessarily consecutive, but still fantastic piece sequence right there for Eren. And Eren's going to be good. Meanwhile, Toby can't get a J or an S piece right there, and is forced to burn all of this down. Man, that's painful. Eren is in prime position to build up a little bit more of a lead. But Toby's going to go for the row 2 Tetrises now. Eren having to do a little bit of burning, so Toby was able to close the gap by 1 Tetris. Eren really struggling here with some of these pieces, able to get the T-piece over just barely, takes another triple, should give more playability. That O-piece was absolutely horrendous. Eren trying to do everything that they can. They need an I-piece in the center. Actually, J-piece is going to work. Eren is given all the right tools to survive. Unfortunately, did not use the L-piece to open up the well initially. But Eren's going to stay alive. 261 to now 247. Toby's still rocking with row 2, but has closed the gap by a Tetris. And Eren actually cannot score Tetris until that hole is dealt with. And it looks like it's going to be dealt with in the process of just bringing the stack all the way down. And Eren not going to even go for row 2. And with that, Toby has taken the lead at 273 to now 273. Toby knocks down another Tetris. Eren has gotten the stack under control. There's another Tetris for Eren. And Toby with a couple of misdrops. These misdrops could be tedious, but let's see how Toby tries to resolve them. Goes for the S-spin. And it's just going to bring the stack all the way down. Ooh, can we see it? Yes! We get one of my favorite spins in the game, the J-spin in that orientation. Are we going to see a line spin? Very nice. If Vandy was here, he'd approve. I mean, I approve of it as well. But 332 to now 345. We're around 30 lines away from the transition. And oh, wait, that doesn't burn anything for Eren. Eren able to tap that piece over just enough. But this is going to be some tricky survival. Let's see how Eren's going to be able to manage. Just really throwing those S pieces over. Continuing to try and get the well open. The well is open. And they have ample opportunities to burn down now. And Toby is not in any position to capitalize. So Eren maintains the lead by knocking down not just 1, but 2 Tetrises. Toby goes for a elevated delay burn. Gets an eyepiece that's going to burn a double. And with this, Toby is good to go. 10 lines left for Toby, 8 lines left for Eren. Eren could potentially give us a 470 transition. Oh, this is going to be a 469. Unless Eren takes a couple more burns. Meanwhile, Toby is looking at a 400. Eren transitions at 469. Meanwhile, Toby's going to transition on the next line clear, which brings Toby up to a 421 transition. So down by a decent chunk amount at transition. Eren with that misdrop might actually give Toby the leeway needed. There it is, Tetris for Toby. Closing the gap little by little, but Eren has cleaned up. Toby might have a line advantage though. So Toby just needs to be able to survive and knock down Tetrises in the process. There it is, another Tetris for Toby. Toby is Tetris ready and knocks another one down. 502 to now 510. Eren counters with a Tetris. Trying to still maintain the separation between the two. Long bar dependency gets filled right there very aptly by Toby. Nice. Toby looking for the right pieces. Going to go for that skim right there. And there it is. Tetris for Toby. 531 to now 538. Eren forced to take a couple of skims. Not going to go for that double. Just going to try and keep this open. Taking a triple. And that triple could be the gateway for Toby to get back in this game here. And tie up the score. Toby opens up the well. Eren knocks down a Tetris. Goes to level 23. Meanwhile, Toby holding up with the long bar. There it is. A Tetris for Toby. Not quite Tetris ready for the second one. But he is now. Eren knocks down a Tetris. 634 to now 618. Toby trailing by 2 lines. So this is as close as we're going to get. Meanwhile, Eren knocks down a Tetris. Toby counters with one of his own. Trying to stay as close as possible with Eren here. Trying to capitalize on any mistakes that are made. And Eren is actually having to do some burning. So if Toby gets the long bar right here, Toby is going to go into the lead at 677. Eren now at 670. is got the board under control, waiting on the long bar now as Toby knocks down another Tetris, 707, and now 6. Scratch that, 700, almost exactly. Eren is Tetris ready. Toby knocks down another Tetris, creating a 1 Tetris barrier between the two, but Eren neutralizes that barrier and closes the gap down to only 7,000 points. Eren is Tetris ready. Toby's kind of struggling with some of these pieces, a real jagged board. Nice pieces right there to help fill that in. Eren has resumed his position back in the lead. Toby has opened up the well, not quite ready for that Tetris, but is now, but so is Eren. Eren has to take a triple, putting them out of Tetris availability. Toby is Tetris ready. Needs his Tetris to tie things up, but the long bar is not coming. And Toby with several misdrops in a row, not holding up, not able to get the long bar. Toby tops out at 747. Eren is good for game number 2, tying things up 1-1. Wow, Eren's level 27 colors look horrendous. Eren just needs one more Tetris away for the max. And there it is, max for Eren. Can we get a level 30? Couple lines away. And there it is, level 30 for Eren, and goes for the line tuck there too. Not able to get anything over to the left, really. Able to grab one more line, 241 lines. Eren is good for game number 2. Anyways, it looks like we have hover 3s for both players. Let's go and count them down. Game number 3. Here we go in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. So what a close game that was. Toby had brought it back to where they were only separated by 1 Tetris. In fact, Toby had the lead at certain points in the post-transition. We just got into a situation where not really able to do too much. But so far, both players starting off the game a little bit flawless. Well, not anymore for Toby, but still knocks down a Tetris nonetheless. Now, Eren also forced to take a couple of burns here as well. And gets the long bar dependency filled. And Toby nails the S-spin right there. And it looks like based on how these first 20 lines are being played, we're going to be in a pretty even matchup here. Toby having to take a couple more burns than Eren. It's going to lead to a small separation. There it is, Simul Tetris, actually. And Eren going with the exaggerated double wide approach. As mentioned before in the match between Hydra and Xeno, it did have its advantages, but the disadvantage is you may have to burn 2 lines to get Tetris ready, potentially more if the pieces don't accommodate the rest of your stack. And that's going to allow Toby to display a little bit more efficiency, albeit at a slightly higher risk. There's another Tetris for Eren. And Toby was able to build up quite the lead here, up by 60,000 points. However, there is some line discrepancy involved, so the true lead may hover around the 40,000 mark. But you can just really see Eren committed to this exaggerated double wide. And speaking about commitments, Toby is committed to this center well and gets the center well Tetris right there in column 3. And with that, opens up the well. Would love to get an L or a J, and gets both of them in a decent period of time, and knocks down another Tetris. 324 to now 285 for Eren. Same line count, so we are looking at a 40,000 point lead for Toby. 60,000 points if he scores the Tetris and Eren is unable to. There it is, Tetris for Eren. Still trying to keep the pressure on Toby. And really, this overhang is going to be problematic for Eren. Might just have to commit to something else. And there it is. The S piece came a piece too late. However, they are set up for a Tetris and could try and burn this out afterwards. But Toby's going to knock down another Tetris, taking them up to 415 at 79 lines. We are looking at a 650 transition over here for Toby. And Eren not looking too shabby. We're looking at around a 570, 580 with some pretty efficient play over here for Eren. Another Tetris for Toby. Eren having to do just a small amount of burning, trying to keep the well open, but is kind of running out of options. Gets the long bar, fills in the dependency, gonna do a little bit of stack sacrificing, open up the well, able to tap those squares over to the left and knock down one Tetris and a triple, but is also set up for, or is able to get set up for some row 2 Tetrises. Meanwhile, Toby with a little bit of a peculiar setup going on here. Let's see how this gets executed as they are going for column 9. There it is, one column 9 Tetris. In fact, if they get a J piece, that could have been the perfect setup. They're going to go for the skim right there. And there it is, Tetris for Toby. It's just going to burn this out. 577 at 111 lines. And Eren at 403. Down by 170,000 points. And this wouldn't be necessarily a bad game for Eren. This is just a stellar game from Toby. Toby now has 600,000. Almost a 200,000 point lead on Eren. Eren's able to knock down a Tetris to try and neutralize some of the gains. But Toby just keeps on pushing. Eren forced to do a little bit more burning. Another Tetris for Toby. Unfortunate square though, but an eyepiece is going to come. And the perfect J placement right there. Both players have one Tetris left potentially. Toby holding out for the right pieces, and it looks like RNG is going to provide. But they are going to need an eyepiece in column 2. Eyepiece goes in column 2, not going to go for the Tetris. Toby transitions at 652, up a little bit high. Really going to have to tap fast to survive this. Able to get the T-piece all the way over, gets the J-piece, and gets the I-piece, knocks down a Tetris, and is going to stay alive and knock down another Tetris. 705,000 for Toby, 529 for Eren. Eren's got his work cut out for him, but he's got to chip it away bit by bit, Tetris by Tetris. 555 now for Eren, 709 for Toby, as Toby aims to try and get set up for the next Tetris. Is actually going to burn down. Toby is in a unique position right here where he could play a little bit conservative and not have to worry about losing too much of a lead up against Eren. However, Eren has closed the gap to only 140,000 points. Eren now waiting on the right pieces. Is going to be one Mino shy of being Tetris ready. But is Tetris ready for that Tetris and knocks one down. 636 to now 742. Toby holding out for the right pieces. Sets up the S flat. Unfortunately, does not pave out. And Eren with a massive crater that needs to be filled in the center. But it might not get filled in. Oh my gosh. All right, flat burns. Eren makes the adjustment. Can he get one more long bar to save him? And it's not going to happen. Eren tops out at 641. Toby goes into the lead 2-1. And good thing for Toby too, because things were getting a little bit rough too. Let's go ahead and count them down to game number 4. Toby is on the verge of going to the finals, but can Eren change that trajectory? We're about to find out here in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. All right, got a little bit of slideshow over here for Eren, but it looks like it corrected itself. unfortunately, Eren kind of got this little uncomfortable situation developing in the center. And, oh, perfect. And hits the T-spin, knocks down a Tetris. Much needed right there. But, man, what a game that was by Toby. A 650 transition and up incredibly high at transition. It could have all ended there. And maybe the events of that match might have played out a little bit differently, considering that Eren wouldn't have to play as aggressive to play catch-up. That's why even if you have a good transition, it's important that you stay alive, because that dictates at the pace your opponent has to play to try and match you. The minute you top out, you give your opponent a set time limit, whether that be you top out at 25 and your opponent has the remaining 3 levels, or you top out at level 19. Your opponent has up until kill screen to chase down any amount of points that you might have occurred over level 18. But to open things up here for game number 4, Toby is off to yet again another strong start here. Eren having to try and survive, able to get the long bar over, but man, this center is a little bit on the annoying side of things. And Eren still waiting on the long bar, finally able to get it. And Toby, yet again, off to another strong start. As a matter of fact, we're looking at only 3 burn lines for Toby currently. And this is kind of scary to go up against when you're in Eren's situation. However, projected pace is not everything of the game. Anyways, 2 quick Tetrises for Toby. 302 at 60 lines. Meanwhile, Eren is at 244 at 60 lines. So not too far behind, down by around 2 to 3 Tetris, give or take, depending on where Toby is able to score Tetrises because of the line discrepancy. And looks like RNG not really giving Toby anything here. Same with Eren. Both players are going to knock down a simul Tetris. And Toby's lead has only shrunk to around 30,000, even with the small line discrepancy. Or without now, because both players are pretty even on line count. Meanwhile, Eren getting uncomfortably high here. Waiting on the long bar, JP's dependency is created. Well is covered. Reopened. Not going to go for the triple yet. Finally takes the triple there. And finally gets the long bar. Toby, on the other hand, was able to grow the lead to around around 60,000 points. However, forced to set up a delay burn here. Just able to throw those squares all the way over to the left. There's 1 Tetris for Toby. Trying to keep the separation between him and Eren. And there it is, Tetris for Toby. 452 to now 418. And oh, beautiful delay burn by Eren. Unfortunately, the pieces that followed weren't exactly as appreciating of that delay burn setup as I was. Eren's still in need of a J piece, forced to use an I piece instead. But Eren is Tetris ready and clean. Nice little delay burn resolution over there for Toby. We are around 15 lines away from the transition for Eren and 20 for Toby. Toby yet again on track for another 600k transition. Eren's looking in the mid 500s. Toby holding out for the long bar now. And there it is, Tetris for Toby. Eren might be in a potentially dangerous situation. No, Eren knocks in a Tetris. Let's see what they do here. And Eren's going to transition at 544. Toby transitions at 617. Yet again, another 600k transition. And what a statement to make here in Game 4 as both players knock down a Tetris. 641 for Eren, 569 for Toby. And Eren hangs the eyepiece all the way over to the left. Can burn 4 more lines before they're forced to have to try and get something over. There it is, Tetris for Eren. Toby knocks down a Tetris, now up to a 100,000 point lead approximately. But Eren gets the long bar dependency built on the left-hand side. Doesn't want to go for the skim yet. Now goes, and there it is, Tetris for Eren. Meanwhile, Toby, Tetris ready. Both players knock down a Tetris. The lead doesn't change. 724 for Toby, 654 for Eren. Toby is Tetris ready, but creates a long bar dependency in the center. So this is Eren's opportunity to close the gap. There's a double. And ooh, this is going to be really tricky for Toby. Toby sets up a delayed burn, having to dig up incredibly high. Needs to get a piece over to the left and can't tap it over. But this isn't over. Eren still needs 731,000. Able to get that eyepiece over to the left. Needs to burn this down. 731,000 is what Eren needs. Okay, that is massive. All right, nice. That's going to be a double. 731 is the score that is necessary for Eren. Able to just barely get that eyepiece over. Able to get that O piece over to the left. And just able to just wheel those pieces. Is down by 22,000 points at this moment. But this is not easy. If you could just stay alive. Oh, that's perfect. Perfect L. Opens up the well. Is he going to close it out with a Tetris? Long bar doesn't come. Just needs 11,000 more points. As a matter of fact, 10,000 more points from here. He's setting up. No, not going to set up for the dirty. Just going to take the burns as necessary. That's a triple, and that's going to be good enough. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to yet again another decider. Woohoo! Decider time. What a dig by Eren. All right, we got it ready from both players. Let's go ahead and count them down. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Here we are, yet again, another decider here in this this Classic Tetris Monthly Challenger Circuit wrap-up. Now, Toby has had back-to-back 600k transitions over the last 2 games. Unfortunately, both have kind of resulted in some relatively early post-transition top-outs. Fortunately, in Game 3, Toby had topped out before or after Eren, so it didn't matter. But we saw the kind of impact that resulted on Game 4. While Eren did have to fight to chase down the score of 730,000, it all comes down to this. Winner of this goes to the finals to face Zeno. So far, both players having to do just a small amount of cleanup. And there it is, Tetris for Toby. So far, some pretty clean play from both players. And we might actually be in a little bit of a stalemate if Eren is able to convert on this Tetris. Oh, great adjustment right there for Toby. Unfortunately, the pieces that accompanied weren't quite as accepting of said adjustment. And this is going to allow Eren to kind of catch up and maybe even take the lead. Toby's now starting to get up a little bit high. It's not going to matter as they knock down a Tetris, and Eren follows up with one of their own. But Toby just really trying to hold out throughout this drought here. Up at the top, and there it is, Tetris for Toby. 190 to now 209. So Eren with a definitive lead. Toby's going to knock down a Tetris. Try and generate some separation. And when you're in a position like this, all it takes is for one dig or even just one drought to set you back behind your opponent. Separated by only 3,000 or 4,000 points here. Eren with a lot of peculiar pieces. Had to create a lot of overhangs to try and resolve them in a clean fashion. Meanwhile, Toby unable to build up too much of a lead. But oh, Eren with another misdrop. Let's see what they're able to do here. Goes for the T-spin tuck. I actually think that was the best solution for that as well. Now they're going to have to try and correct the stack. Very nice. Doesn't want to go for the S-splat delay burn. Instead, is going to try and attack it at the source. Bring the stack all the way down. And this is going to allow Toby to take the advantage here. 332 to now 289. And Eren has cleaned up the stack, ready to continue scoring. Toby has created 60,000 points worth of separation between the two. Eren is behind by a decent chunk of lines. And so if Eren could just score Tetrises without having to burn, we would be incredibly close. But in order to score Tetrises, you need the long bar, and there one is. 320 now 378. Eren going for the exaggerated double wide approach. Tetris for Toby. Eren able to just throw that S piece all the way over, but a J piece dependency is created in the process. And that J piece dependency gets converted into an I piece dependency. All right, nice burns. Didn't want to go for the split J and L combo, but Eren opens up the well just in time. There it is, Tetris for Eren, and another Tetris for Eren. 374 to now 374 to now 452. Scratch that 477. Still have a bit of ways to go before the level 19 transition. 500,000 now 374. $421 to now 500. And Toby yet again on track for another 600k transition. That misdrop might put a small wrench in the plans. The J piece allows it to only cost 2 lines. Meanwhile, Eren goes for the S-splat. Still in need of a J, now in need of 2 Js. Misses the S-spin, and that's going to cost some lines here. And this is going to allow Toby to already extend the quite sizable lead. $594 for Toby. Can try and grab one more. Meanwhile, Eren is at 452. Can try and grab 3 more. A perfect play. Toby's going to transition at 618,000. Meanwhile, Eren still trying to work his way to transition. This is looking a little bit scary for Eren as Toby knocks down another Tetris. 643. Eren try and go for one more realistically. Takes the triple. Where's the long bar for Eren? Has 2 lines left to burn, and Eren's going to transition at 486,000. Got a lot of work cut out for him, but Toby still has to survive and push him to that limit. Eren knocks down the Tetris, goes up to 511,000. Meanwhile, Toby trying to work on this stack here, might be going for row 2. I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, Toby's going to commit to the row 2. Meanwhile, Eren knocks down a Tetris. Toby knocks down the row 2 Tetris. Unfortunately, this is going to result in some complications, so Eren might have a chance of leeway here. Doesn't want to go for the S-flat, doesn't want to go for the flat burn. And now Eren now having to try and get access to that hole right there in column 3. Beautiful burn, opens up the well and knocks down a Tetris. Toby is still having to do some burning, so the lead has been decreased to 130,000 in favor of Toby. Another Tetris for Eren. Toby is still burning. Eren chipping away at this lead little bit by little bit. 596 to now 710. Toby is still burning. Another Tetris for Eren. 625 to now 713. Toby is not in any position to clean up much sooner. In fact, he made another misdrop. Or maybe it was intentional, but it creates another hole in the stack. Eren knocks down another Tetris. 653,000 and now 719. Toby is still trying to work his way down. Would love to get an L piece here. Eren is Tetris ready. Toby getting some good pieces here. Eren knocks down another Tetris. 683 to now 727. We are within 40,000 points. Another Tetris for Eren. Eren has made a complete comeback. Now separated by less than half a Tetris. Toby is still experiencing complications. Eren doesn't want to set up the J piece dependency. He's going to play a little bit more conservative, but Toby is in need of an I piece. He sets up for the dirty Tetris and knocks it down. Goes back into the lead. He set up for a slightly dirty Tetris here on row 2. Meanwhile, Eren's turn to experience some complications. Toby knocks down a Tetris, goes up to 793, creating another 70,000 point separation. Eren getting some good pieces here, throwing those eyepieces all the way over to the left. Toby is set up for a row 2 Tetris. Eren makes a small misdrop and decides to burn the stack all the way down. Toby is still waiting on this long bar. He's holding out for the long bar. Eren's still trying to get Tetris ready, and there it is. Tetris for Toby. 830 to now 737. Once again at 100,000 points separation. Eren trying to get the board under control. Nice adjustment right there. Holding out for the long bar now as Toby knocks down another Tetris. 863. Toby waiting for the long bar, and no, not Toby. Eren was waiting for the long bar, knocks down a Tetris. 773 to now 865, around 100,000 point separation. Toby is not Tetris ready to use that long bar, but speaking of using the long bar, Eren knocks down a Tetris. He has a long bar dependency right there in the center of the stack, though. Does he get the long bar for it? This long bar dependency goes massive, so he converts it over to a center well and decides to go ahead and take the triple, or the 3 lines worth. Eren now trying to get built up. Meanwhile, Toby is still in a little bit of trouble here. There is still 100,000 point separation. Eren knocks down the bits. Not quite Tetris ready. Still a little bit shy. Finally gets the long bar. Fills in the dependency. Toby is still not able to score. Eren is now finally Tetris ready. There it is. Tetris for Eren. 855 to 918. Toby can try and score 2 more. Eren can try and score 3 with perfect play. Eren now Tetris ready. Holding out for the long bar. Long bar's not coming. Burns down for a double. And gets the long bar, but knocks down a Tetris, but not much that Eren can do here. There's nothing that he could do to correct the stack. Not going to go for the flat burn. He's going to go aggressive, going to try and go for this Tetris up incredibly high. He needs the long bar, but he's down by more than 1 Tetris worth of points. If he could have somehow set up for a dirty Tetris up there, it would have been enough. But Toby clutches out the decider, 965,000 to 931,000. But you got to give credit where it is, dude. Eren had a fantastic comeback, being down by almost 200,000 and bringing it back to only 17,000 points in 1 point of this game. But Toby is advancing to the finals to face off against Xeno.
Hey everybody, this is your old pal Vandweller, host of Classic Tetris Monthly, and I'm asking you to do me a favor. If you like this video, hit thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like it, please subscribe and bang that notification bell. And follow us on Twitch at twitch.tv/monthlytetris. Thank you, and have a nice day.